Oh, right, he has a sister. Hello, welcome back to P-Storm. I am Pluvius Lilon, and today we're playing Sister Other Paranoia. And when we last left off, Shuichi Saihara was very bitter after the events of Danganronpa Vedthread, and his only comfort is his little sister Gargura. So let's look more into that. I can't adequately express how much I don't want to go to Lit Club, but I can't stay away forever. I have connections to maintain here at uni, few and far between as they are. As a member of this pack's petty-minded pedants, I'm expected to show up to submit pieces to their anthologies. Being a published light novel author, I have a reputation to think of. The last thing I want is people online to snipe at me. Look at Mr. Bigwig over here. He dropped the Lit Club like a hot potato the minute he got published. Participating in events is part and parcel of it being a Lit Club, but it doesn't mean I have to like it. The one currently giving me grief is called the Bunge Furima, the literary flea market. It's the bookworm version of a nerd convention. People show off their novels and essay collections. It's about as interesting as watching paint dry, but it has its fair share of fans, and the attendance keeps growing year after year. You'd be surprised how packed the place can get. Again, it's not like the average nerd convention. There's a feeling in the air that's difficult to capture in words, but it's what makes the place a treasure trove of rare niche pieces of literature. The only problem is the people. Large groups of people are subject to the complexities of human relationships, especially between the sexes. The lust, the need for validation. I hesitate to call it a subculture. A literature nerd lacks the straightforward simplicity of his anime counterpart, so a gathering of them becomes a roil of turbulent emotions. Lit Flea is little more than a popularity contest for the big-name authors anyway, and in that respect, I guess it's no different from any other nerd convention. I'm sure some attendees have genuine literary ambitions. My club, though, pardon my bluntness, but we're simply playing pretend. We hack together a shabby short story collection and try to pass off this hodgepodge of words as literature. Why? Because we can. I don't know who would even want to read this crap. Take that money and go buy a volume of the latest hit manga. Don't waste it on a patchwork of scribblings by wannabe amateurs barely out of high school. It's just a means to hype ourselves up and put each other down. We tried, and trying is half the battle. That almost makes us real authors, we tell ourselves, coddling our collective wounded pride as we press copies into the hands of our close friends and family. We keep hoping that maybe, just maybe, a brilliant editor will stumble upon one of us and lift us out of the gutter. There's a less than 0.1% chance of that happening, but maybe, we say, maybe. This time, however, the power dynamic is all askew. See, I'm a published author now. Of a single book, yes. But so what? That's enough to draw out a handful of my fans, curious to see what this rising star has to put out next. Which should motivate some product. It doesn't mean much, ultimately, but when you have numbers and a publishing contract on your side, you're the king of the literature club. A shame I've never liked being king. It'd be one thing if my clubmates were supportive, if they could tolerate anyone but them having a scrap of talent. I just hate it. Hate it, hate it, hate it. I hate their envy. The most noxious of all human emotions. Hey, there's zero energy in the club room, but what else is new? We're all here because we have nowhere else to go. The only time we pretend to be a proper literature club is when we have an event looming over our heads. The rest of the time, we sit around jawing away at the name of literary criticism. At first, we function like a book club, all of us reading the same books and convening to discuss them. Before long, though, we separated into two camps, those who give a shit and those who don't. It's hardly surprising. Literature clubs are a haven for people who don't want to be alone but can't be asked to be social. I wouldn't bellyache so hard if the others would put in the effort, but they don't. They wouldn't know effort if it bit them. There's just one guy who actually cares, one upperclassman who possesses something like a spine.
Well, look who the cat dragged in. Hasuya-kun.
Hello, Hiyakawa-senpai.
How's the new light novel going?
It's going. That's Hiyakawa-san. He's in the year ahead of me, a third year. Check out the death glare. What an ugly son of a gun. He's got the personality to match, too. Not that I have room to talk on either count. I hope that means you're making progress. It wouldn't do to keep your readers waiting while you finish your lid flea submission. Sarcastic bastard. Again, not that I have room to talk. You know why he brought that up? He's scoping me out. He's eager to hear that I've failed. He wants to reassure himself that my first success was just a fluke, a flash in the pan. He's clinging to his position at the top of this little hierarchy by whispering in doubt every year. Or by whispering doubt in every ear. So what if he won a Rookie Author Award? He's a one-hit wonder. Things weren't so bad before my book came out, and I didn't ask him to feel threatened by me, but here we are. Until I came along and ruined everything, our club was all people who stood a snowball's chance in hell of getting published. Once he could base his ego on the supposition that he understood literature better than the rest. Now there's me hanging around. My mere existence thumbing its nose at him and asking, "Where's your Rookie Author Award?" You'd never hear me actually say that, of course. That would be next level pathetic. Publishing a single book is small potatoes anyway, but to the average enterprising 20-something wannabe, the distinction between being published and unpublished is night and day. Senpai tries to hide how much it bothers him, but he feels it in his bones. He's a failure. I'd feel bad for him, but I'm not some bleeding heart. He's obnoxious, plain and simple. It'd be one thing if he could write worth a damn, but all he does is skulk around the clubroom and internet message boards playing pundit. He latches onto whatever is in the limelight and nitpicks it apart. Good critique is easy to spot. If it engages with text, it's good critique. Most morons go hunting for what's not in the text, and at that point, it's quibbling for the sake of quibbling. Anyone with a keyboard can say it lacked something, or I didn't get what they were going for. A real critique addresses the text for what it is. Why did the author write XYZ? Why does that connect to ABC? You'll never get that from people like Hiyakawa-senpai, obsessed with elements that aren't there. The literary value of a critique is born from the critic's understanding of the text, and he doesn't even form one. He's terrified that someone will blow the whole thing wide open, reveal that he can't critique to save his life. He read my debut novel, and took it upon himself to offer me heaps of criticism, as any good senpai should. Was he wrong about any of it? No, and that's the frustrating part. Yeah, I left a lot of awkward constructs in the text. Yeah, my over-reliance on metaphor ruined several key tenets of the work. The emotional arcs were too abrupt, and my purple prose was a dead giveaway that I'm a first-time author. Even I blushed over during a reread. He wasn't wrong. A big part of me wanted to ask, fine, then how come I won the debut award? But I already know what he'd say. I'm good at catering to the illiterate masses. We literary elites know my novel isn't worth the paper it was printed on. It's no wonder this talentless hack can't pump out a sequel. You're not wrong. Things are slow going right now. I'm looking forward to taking a break with this short story for Lit Flea. Short stories make a perfect refresher between longer works. Remember, people will seek us out just to read your story. Try not to let the club down, will you? I'll do my best. But you should give yourself more credit. I, for one, can't wait to see what you produce. Oh, I'm sorry. I don't write for a light novel audience. Not like you. He says as though he doesn't care for light novels. Thing is, this guy, he collects waifus. I think this snobbery about light novels being substandard lit is a new thing for him. He's just doing everything in his power to hold together his crumbling pride. He's directing the film of his own life, and I'm cast as the cocky upstart privileged with the power to churn out LN slop. He's starring as the literary genius awaiting discovery by the masses, and he won't let a little thing like reality get in the way. That's the funny thing about people. We're capable of convincing ourselves of the most ridiculous things to safeguard our egos, and over time, the lies become foundational to our identity. It starts off as a self-defense mechanism, anything to avoid the harsh wake-up call that is reality, and eventually transforms into pure conceit. Someday, I'll be one of the literary greats. It just hasn't happened yet. I'm not saying it's bad to have a competitive streak. I wouldn't complain half as hard if Hiyakawa-senpai wrote anything with any impact, or even if those critiques he litters the internet with had a gram of insight in them. Alas for us all, he doesn't, and they don't. He may be a competent reader, but he goes on to make it his whole identity. It must be torture to go through life as an utter snob. He's also a philosophy major. Need I say more? He digs deep into his bag of tricks to convince his fellow members in the proper posse that he's so much more erudite than they are. Through a Heideggerian lens, that's not exactly Lacanian. You'd understand if you read the Critique of Pure Reason. Wrap up with a random rant bashing Adlerian psychology, and to the uninformed masses, you know everything. You can see now why I have to cut him down to size. He's too fucking annoying. Like I said, I look forward to seeing what you come up with. Right back at you. Don't go tarnishing your industry credentials now. Industry credentials? My god, man, we're in college. But enough wasting oxygen on him. I actually do need to lock in and make headway on my Lit Flea submission. Like Hiyakawa-senpai, I hope to cultivate a reader base that won't knock a short story just for its length. Plus, I figure a published author's piece in a university writing club anthology would be a cool collectible someday. It'll probably fetch a premium if I make it big someday, with anime studios lining up to adapt my work and all. Look at me getting ahead of myself. I'm acting like a kid. Perhaps I'll look into Hiyakawa-senpai's mind, see just how much I riled him up. Damn that Hasuya. He thinks I couldn't make it in the publishing industry. What does he know? I don't write light novels. I write real literature. The standard for getting published is much higher in my field. I win over readers with my rhythmic, Hemingway-esque laconicism. Genuine talent wins every time. Anyone can lower themselves to winning a Rookie Author LN prize. All that takes is following the trends. Write your dream girl and ta-da, instant bestseller. Now, if I was to write my dream girl, she'd be a demon girl. One of those misanthropic types. Give her the face of a fallen angel and the body of a preteen girl, and she'll have a complex about, of course. The slightest brush against her by a mere mortal makes her shudder in horror, unless it's the protagonist. She doesn't mind him. In fact, she... Okay, I need to stop. Hell hath no cringe like the inner monologue of a wannabe author. Props, though. He's at least thinking about writing. What's your favorite work of Dazai's, Hiyakawa-senpai? Heed my plea. And Akutagawa? The nose. Sakaguchi Ungo? The idiot. How about Kambayashi Chohei? More sci-fi than literary classics, but you know. I'm partial to Tonight I Sip from the Milky Way. Huh, I see. You see? You see what? Nothing. I'm not surprised to hear any of it, is all. I love messing with him. It almost makes him bearable. What about you? Me? What's your favorite Dazai story? If I had to pick one, I guess Schoolgirl. Huh. Interesting choice. He's clearly never read it.
So, what are you gonna write for your short story, Oni-chan?
Good question. Whatever fills 10,000 characters, I guess.
You should write a romance.
Hard pass.
How come?
I don't like romance, and I don't write what I don't like.
You really don't like romance? Not even in the literary sense?
Nope.
That's funny, when you're such a romanticist.
Why do you think that?
Because you're always writing yourself into the story of your life. Oni-chan, do you think the world lies? I suspected as much.
Huh. I thought I already went to that one. Oh well. Monkey. You don't need to understand, but tell me, am I all that bad? Lullaby, lullaby, it's time to part. Lullaby, lullaby, my jagged heart. The checkers. I guess I should head out for my part-time job. The mere thought makes me roll my eyes. I'd rather forego such menial labor and focus on my writing, but having just the one book published doesn't actually pay my bills. I'd be a fool to quit my job. I'd blow through my royalties in no time, and then where would I be? The same place as an old hooker, youth squandered from selling their body. There's no greater humiliation in modern Japan than working a part-time job. You trade in your humanity 1 hour at a time for a measly 1,000 yen and change. Your boss is inevitably a high-handed tyrant. Your pay is abysmal. No one wants to work a part-time job. We do it because we have no other recourse. Doubly so if you're a night shift convenience store clerk like I am. The balding manager is always breathing down our necks, suspecting every underpaid peon of slacking off. I can't believe that we're allowed to labor under such conditions. It's madness. Just the other day, a coworker of mine, 30-something, looked to be a decent enough guy, was caught stealing sheets of postage stamps and given the boot. A single postage stamp is worth no more than 110 yen, but a whole sheet could sell for tens of thousands. Those stamps really add up. I'm almost impressed with his resourcefulness. It helps that we barely talked, and I don't care when a near stranger steals a handful of stamps. He's nobody to me, and they weren't my stamps. And aren't we all living paycheck to paycheck just trying to make ends meet anyway? We're all lunatics underneath the thin veneer of social acceptability. Look at me. I'm nothing but a downtrodden, cynical college student. I work nights because I hate interacting with people. My shift lasts from 10 p.m. to 8 a.m. Night shifts pay extra, of course. Extra as peanuts compared to the vast riches of the esteemed office worker is raking in every month. My pay comes at the cost of no longer walking with the salubrious rays of the rising sun, yet there's no end of people desperate to snap up a little extra cash. Thus, they fall into the working nights pipeline. First you skip classes, then you repeat a year, and pretty soon you're dropping out. Am I on the road to being a college dropout? I'm sure other people think so. They look at me and think, he's throwing his whole life away. And they're right. I don't give a damn about college credits anymore. If I'm going to fail my classes anyway, I might as well drop out and focus on my writing career. It's cheaper than repeating a year. Don't I sound fancy? Writing career. I'm a regular starving artist, a bohemian. Yet to describe myself as a bohemian implies planning, intention. The truth is, I'm simply wandering my way through life. People who plot out their futures aren't equipped to be writers. Or so I tell myself. I'm still writing this sob story in my mind when I arrive at the store where I work. The customers' brains have long since atrophied for lack of use. All that runs through their decaying gray matter is convenience, 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 convenience. Of course, the workers are the same. All they think of is money, 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 money. Welcome to an alternate dimension where all that matters is clocking out the second your shift is over. An engine's purr cuts through the stillness of the night. Unfortunately for me, it heralds the arrival of my illustrious colleague, the gentleman with whom I have the pleasure of sharing this evening. He's a prick. Sup, buddy? The picture of a troglodytic biker bro. He's got an awful shock of tacky blonde hair. He has the intelligence of a monkey and a lack of any other redeeming qualities. Granted, he isn't unattractive. That's probably how he's managed to get by. His handsome looks and amiable attitude mask the dearth of brain activity. I know his type. He'll get a girl pregnant when they're much too young, realize he's got to provide for his growing family somehow, and run out to get a real job. Next thing you know, he's bought a giant car to take his happy family on camping outings and road trips. Here comes baby number 2. Here comes baby number 3. Oh well, what can he do? Better hop on down to the furniture store and buy a new crib. He was big into motorbikes as a teen, and now he transforms his passion into a career in the auto industry. It helps that he's always been an active type. He does good work. He gets paid a decent wage, he yells at his kids when they screw up, he blubbers with pride at their school plays. He never thinks a complex thought, and he lives a happy life surrounded by wife, kids, and similarly boneheaded bros. All hypothetical, of course. Don't you think it's strange how backwards it all is? Why is society set up to reward the morons and punish the thinking men? I've never seen this cretin look unhappy once. It's just not fair. If you want to see a movie about that subject, go watch Idiocracy. I just rewatched it a couple weeks ago. It holds up.
Hey man, don't be jealous of me.
What are you talking about? I'm not jealous of you.
You sure? You look like you are. Either way, happy to be working with you.
Biker bros are a society of animals. It's no wonder they have such sharp instincts. They rely on them to survive. That explains why my coworker is so good at reading people. Kinda like me. He hones his survival instincts because that's the only thing standing between him and the disqualification from this rat race we're unequipped to run. Our shift begins now. I step out into the shop at 10, taking over the high school kid who's been here since 6. The glint of energy in the kid's eyes sickens me. He can't stand high schoolers and their enthusiasm for working. They don't know what the night shift means. The despondency, the black ooze that seeps from the checkout counter after 10 p.m. This is the witching hour, the time for us undead to creep from our crypts unmolested by the light of the sun. This is vitality and love for work reversed.
You mind manning the register, dude? I'm gonna go restock the shelves.
Night is the time to replenish goods and pull food off the shelves that's reached its expiration date. We must do all we can to send off the hard-working adults and the cheerful young college students to their happy, fulfilling days. Silently smiling, we work, a labor of love for the living. I ring up the handful of shoppers that trickle in through the night in between cleaning the deep fat fryers. The stench is horrendous, a product of the buckets of oil we feed these machines to pump out the buckets of food to feed us. Every uneaten piece of junk food I toss in the trash can makes me curse this culture of mass consumption further. An overweight shopper decides he's overweighting. He yells out the number of his preferred brand of cigarettes.
514!
$5.14, you said? One moment.
Hurry it up, kid!
I hate the people who come in to buy cigarettes. They're the worst. Who do they think they are, ordering me around with their numbers? I'm not a convict. An ugly floozy is curt with me. Give me a 417. 417, there it is. Maybe she reserves her smile for the patrons who stuff 10,000 yen bills into her bra.
$6.16.
Sure is cold out there, huh? This one's a small talker. I don't mind the chatty types, but something about them breaks my heart. Not in a big way, and not in a way that I can put into words, but my heart is nonetheless broken.
They say it's gonna rain tomorrow.
That right? A shame. We exchange words of little substance, and time drags on. Man, I wish it would rain. It's better when there are customers. Having someone else around almost makes... It's better when there are customers. Having someone else around almost makes the agony bearable. The thing is, a night shift is a battle against time. The goal is not to look at the clock. Its sluggish hands only inspire rage, which is why it's better when there are customers. An interaction can make the minutes fly by. The true trial begins after midnight. Once the trains stop running, the customers drop off to nothing. There's no one to talk to but your coworker, and there's nothing to be done but slowly, laboriously, excruciatingly prepare for the morning rush. It's ennui evaluated to an extreme. Or elevated to an extreme.
Alright, that's good enough. Let's sit back and kick it.
You got it, Dokudami. Sitting back and kicking it is. The guy's got a hell of a surname, Dokudami. It means chameleon plant. I've heard tales of convenience store workers using fake names to put off mean customers, but this man would never need a fake name to deter would-be complainers. Between his name and his punk appearance, he was born to work the night shift.
A lot of bento boxes to throw in today. You want one? It's fried chicken.
We switch into slow mode once the customers are gone. We have a list of things to finish by morning, but they'll all get done eventually. Mopping the floors, cleaning the bathrooms, restocking the bottled drinks, that sort of thing. No more than 2 or 3 hours of work, even if we chat while we work and take our sweet time with it. If we're slow enough, we can make the work last till the morning rush. Then the commuters fill the store and tie me up at the cash register till 8 o'clock rolls around and my shift ends. I collect my paycheck, 10,000 yen or near enough, and head home.
I'm gonna hit the slots after work tomorrow morning. They got a promo going on. You should come with me and help me enter the lotto. I'll buy your ticket off you if you get a good number.
A convenience store night shift is therefore a matter of waiting out the clock with a coworker. The nature of the coworker determines the difficulty of this exercise. Prior to Dokudami, my last fellow inmate was a fatso in his 40s. He peaked in high school and wouldn't let me forget it. I saw him drooling over internet escorts during breaks, and every word out of his mouth was about sex. Sex, sex, sex. It was pure torture. He's gone now, and good riddance.
You know a lot about computers, right? Know anything about crypto? I hear it's a good investment.
If you're interested, try it.
I know a crypto app you could download.
I do not, but Google will remedy that.
I don't know, tried it once, but I got confused when it came to making the wallet thing. I don't see the point in putting in a bunch of work if it doesn't pay off in the end, you know? That's why I was asking if you knew how it worked.
If it was easy to make money through crypto, everyone would be doing it.
Yeah, figures. Guess I'll stick to pachinko.
Why'd you put money in a government investment account? It's called a NISA. You could build up a decent amount over time.
A what now? A Nissan? You're telling me the government goes around giving people cars? That's wild, bro. Hook me up. I gave you the chicken bento, so you owe me one.
Get real. If the government handed out cars, I wouldn't be working this crummy part-time job.
Yeah, figures.
It's decent of him to ignore the way I treat him like shit. It annoys me, but at least he's mildly entertaining. I can't be bored with him, certainly never enough to try reading his mind. Still, I don't want to get too chummy. Biker bros are petty crime recidivists. It's better to keep a careful distance. I compartmentalize. He's a guy I talk with until morning comes, and then we both go our separate ways. What made you start working here, Dokudami-san?
The money, man. They don't care if I dye my hair either. All the math's done by the cash register, so I don't have to use my head or nothing. And who can pass up free bento boxes, am I right?
More like bento boxes you're sneaking out of the trash can, but okay. That said, there's a tacit agreement that we can take whatever expired food we want, provided we keep it on the down low. The manager would chew me out if I got caught, but I'd quit on the spot if he tried to yell at me, and he knows this. To keep the peace, he makes sure we fulfill our bare minimum obligations and otherwise leaves us to our own devices. You know what we're treated like? Brownies. Helpful fairies who tidy up the store for next to nothing and vanish at dawn. We're barely human in his eyes.
You do drugs, Hasuyachi?
What are you, a cop?
Nah, sorry, I'm just curious. I'm not trying to push nothing.
I pop a sleeping med now and then, or the odd mind-altering substance. Never enough to get addicted.
Getting high off sleeping meds? What's that like?
Nah, not that kind. Newer sleeping meds don't have the weird amnesia effects. They're safer that way. You're thinking of older medications.
Am I? Well, I don't know much about sleeping meds. I conk out the minute I hit the sack. Is that all they do? Make you sleep? Don't need that.
Yes, that's all they do, which is why they're called sleeping meds. I'm talking to a man with an IQ of 5. That said, it's nice to hold a conversation that doesn't require peeping into my interlocutor's mind. There's a feeling of safety, almost. I don't have to think before I speak. This rare degree of spontaneity, whenever we shoot the shit, represents, to me, the platonic ideal of a casual conversation.
The whole point of life is enjoying it. If you're not having a good time, you're doing it wrong.
You've got the meaning of life all figured out, huh, Dokudami-san?
Sure do. We're here, so we might as well make the most of it. I don't get all your cynicism, Hasuyachi. Feels like a waste of time. You can think what you like, man, but if you ever want to live a little, you know who to call.
By live a little, you mean never think about anything?
You say that, but you're just as dumb as me.
Me? Dumb?
Sure, neither of us knows shit, and that's why we live like a couple of dumbasses. Overthinking's a waste of our time. Leave the thinking to the eggheads, that's my motto.
The Brainiacs
can dream up a world for us, and punks like me can sit back and nibble on the fruits of their labor. It's that way for everything, even pachinko. You only gotta play on promo days when they rig the machines in your favor. I put serious effort into never thinking seriously, and it pays off big time.
It's unfair how quickly he and his ilk can see right to the heart of the matter. No wonder we overthinkers, we nihilistic nerds, never stop bashing these animalistic punks. We're as incompatible as oil and water.
Thailand, right? Fucking love that place. Cute girls everywhere. Cute guys, too. You think they're hot chicks, and wham, they pull out their dicks. 2 for the price of 1, you know what I'm saying? You get to play hell loud music all night long, grab someone for a lay, and fall asleep right there. It's awesome. Thai people, they got this saying they love, right? Mai pen rai. That means do whatever, man. It'll all work out. Those guys are pure optimists, so no matter what happens, they're happy.
Yeah, mentality is everything. You have to put things into perspective. For example, just being a Japanese citizen grants you greater privileges than most of the globe.
Exactly. Doesn't matter if you're jobless and poor. Mai pen rai, man. Mai pen rai.
But while the Thai
are doing their Mai Pen Rai thing, a bunch of white dudes are coming in and turning the country into a tourist attraction. Next thing you know, tourism powers the whole damn economy, and locals get priced out of their homes. Now there's no stopping it. The whole country's a drug den and fuck palace for white tourists. Let me tell you something, Hasuyanchi. You can care too much, but you can't care too much, but you also can't let people walk all over you. You can't let people beat you, cause they'll take everything.
You saying there's someone you want to beat?
God, I guess. Whoever was irresponsible enough to make this world so goddamn unequal. If I can make some money for doing very little, have some fun, live the good life, then I figure that makes me the winner of this stupid game. Make a little cash at this job, win more at gambling, get rich, I'm set for life. I'll die and wake up to a big you win screen.
Assuming you do win more at gambling.
Assuming shit. Even if I lose, I'll just keep going. Actually, it's important to lose a little. You gotta have something to aim for, something to keep you hungry. That's why I aim to win and take a little loss on the side. What matters is having a winning mindset. You never want to lose on purpose. I told you already. You gotta keep fighting with everything you have, keep losing, and keep taking it easy. That's dumbass life philosophy right there.
You put some real thought into this.
Sure, being a punk's all about the mindset, the aesthetic. Anyway, here's a vape with a little something extra in it. Got it in Thailand.
See, here comes the petty crime. Not that I care. Morality can fuck off.
You got some time to kill. Want to light up with me?
You just said you weren't gonna push anything.
Dude, don't be such a buzzkill. Smoking alone is no fun. But hey, if you don't wanna, that's cool too.
Never hurts to try something new, I guess.
Here, your turn. Also, it's not even illegal. I mean, the government doesn't know about it yet, so it's pre-regulated.
I don't care what the law says. Doesn't really matter, because regardless, we'll get fired if we get caught.
Man, who's gonna care? Even if they see us on the security cams, they'll just think we're vaping.
Fair. There's a kind of wisdom that comes with being a punk. A part of the feral lifestyle, I guess. Well, why not? If he gets caught and fired anyway, might as well join him. I take the pen he offers me and raise it to my mouth. I'm not sure what to do, to be honest. I've never even smoked a cigarette before. Dokudami has the gall to snicker at me, but I try not to let it get to me. I'm too creeped out by the thought of my lips touching something he had in his mouth.
You gotta inhale. Make it go down into your lungs.
Didn't like that.
You get better with practice.
What's supposed to happen now?
Dunno. You just gotta relax and enjoy it. Some people have a bad time on their first trip, but hey, Mai pen rai.
I feel kind of woozy.
That's how you know it's working. Honestly, thank God for getting high. Only thing that makes these damn night shifts bearable.
His brain laughter rings inside my skull. Meanwhile, the clunk of the air conditioner falls into a rhythm that's oddly soothing to my ears. Now I understand what people mean when they talk about auditory stimulus bringing pleasure to the brain.
Hey, Hasuyachi, how you liking this?
I don't know. It feels weird.
Man, you're stupid. You're weird for slumping over and muttering to yourself. You gotta enjoy it and laugh it up.
We're both being weird. Even thinking is becoming too much of a bother. Some part of me wants to give in to this lethargy and let myself relax. Is this what it means to turn your brain off? Maybe Dokudami is onto something. If we're both weird, then his no-brain approach is by far the easier way to live.
You'll be okay. This isn't even that strong, man. Right. Let's get back out there and restock some shelves.
I might be able to, but you shouldn't.
I might be able to, but you shouldn't. Your eyes are too red.
No one's gonna notice. People who come in this late are all crazy anyway.
I mean, fair.
I manage, barely, to wobble through the rest of my shift at a snail's pace. I've never seen the sun so stabbing bright, and I hate it. Dokudami, on the other hand, is waltzing off to the pachinko parlor. I was going to yell at him for getting me high, but when he claps me on the shoulder with a big grin and says that was fun, I just don't have the heart to tell him off. It's only for a few hours anyway. I can go home, sleep it off, and return to my old gloomy self. But until then, my Penrai. My Penrai.
You stayed out all night, Oni-chan?
And you're still awake, Sahana. It's not healthy to be up so late.
It's healthy to be awake at 9 a.m. It's school time.
But you're not going to school, are you?
Nope.
You should go every now and then. Even I go out for work.
What a good boy you are, Oni-chan. Your eyes are kind of red.
Oh, yeah.
Society is cruel, but you can't give in to it. You're not allowed to cry.
I'm not giving in and I'm not crying. Screw society.
You can't conform to it either. You fight it, you interrogate it. Never forget that. The world is a cold place, and you don't need to adapt yourself to it.
I talk to people at work, you know. There's this dumb dropout kid, though he's actually got more going on between his ears than you'd think.
Is he your friend?
No, we're not friends. I talk to him because he's there, that's all.
There's some things you can learn by watching from afar. Sahana knows.
What do you know? Come on, I'm off to bed. Find a book to read or something.
I'll stay beside you until you fall asleep.
Sure, if you want to.
I do. Good night. While everyone else is at school, I'll sit here and read. I'll read lots and lots of books and learn about the world through their pages.
Yeah, I'll keep borrowing more from the library then.
Thanks. In this world, who knows he who finds happiness wins, Oni-chan. Well, sleep well, Oni-chan. Good night, Oni-chan.
Good night. Russia, are you not flying along like a winged troika? Whither, then, are you speeding, O Russia of mine? Nikolai Gogol, Dead Souls. Okay. So I'll take care of these other 3 next episode, but if you enjoyed this video, then no further actions required on your part, and we will see you then.